What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Bolero. Sam here with Gab. And sorry guys, wala si Maui today. So, dalawa lang kami. But, meron kaming special guest mamaya. Si Gab mag-i-introduce ng special guest natin. Actually, Gab, you wanna introduce our guest now para naman hindi siya nag-aantay lang?
Okay, so our special guest for this evening, substituting for the man, the myth, the legend, Maui Yap, from the Six Man Podcast, Nico Rocha! Yeah, there he is!
Yo!
There
What's
he
up, guys?
is!
What's up?
Yay!
Hello. Nice to be here.
Welcome.
Thank you, bro. Thanks, Gab. For those asking how I met them, I just met them via online, just lovers of the UAP. Met them in person 2 months ago sa Philoil.
Philoil.
Hindi, pero si Gab na-meet ko na before the UAP setting. Pero si Sammy, I think, dahil doon lang sa Philoil. I think, just to share, like, for those just meeting me for the first time, speak a bit of what I do. I am a PBA radio commentator. I am a writer. I also am a what do you call this? I also work in the PBA as well for the NLEX Road Warriors. So yun yung parang sports credentials ko. Kasi syempre di ko bibigay yung corporate credentials ko. Ano naman dagdag ron dito.
There's no
But
one more legit than Nico Rocha right here in terms of UAP basketball. That's why we have him on.
UAP is my love. UAP is my love. Same as these guys. Same level. Same level for sure. That's what I can say with regards to Boleros.
Yeah.
Yes!
Guys,
I love it.
etong si Nico, if you're not following his podcast, the Six Man Podcast, you should. He makes really great content, and when we were starting out, si Nico, si Navs, yung dalawang yan, always helping us out, giving us tips, giving us advice. So, been supporting the podcast ever since. Alam ko yun. So, really, really happy to have Nico here. And as you can see from the title, we are going to go back to one of our favorite segments here at the show, and I think some of the commenters or listeners that we have love this segment, I would say also. So we're going to do Ballers and Boleros of the off season. Pero bago 'yon, or off season. Pero bago 'yon, pag-usapan muna natin yung sponsor natin for today. Gab, take it away.
So this episode with Nico Rocha is brought to you by, once again, Cotton Club Underwear and NYC Underwear. Cotton Club, I love it here. And hindi ko pwede pakita on air, pero I am wearing some Cotton Clubs down here. And they are pretty comfy.
Good to know. I love it here. Baka dapat si Nico pala, no? Padalhan din natin ng mga sando, Gab, no?
Papadalhan natin. Papadalhan natin yan ng Sando. Si Sammy, at some point in time, mapapasando ko yan. Mapapasando ko yan.
Kailangan ng All Sando episode. Kailan ba birthday mo, Gab?
October 21.
Oh! Yeah, that's Sando Day.
Pwede. Sando Day. That's Sando Day.
Mandatory yun.
Holiday.
Kayo tatlo, kailangan.
Bakit ka ba namin inimbita dito, Nico? Mukhang napasubo ko dahil sa iyo eh.
Actually, yung problem ni Gab, kailangan mo i-convince na ano.
Yes!
Bad trip ka, Gab. Bad trip. Sige, let's get started. Let's start on a good note. Ballers of the season. And dahil may special
off-season,
guest tayo.
Sam. Off-season.
Of the off-season. And dahil may special guest tayo, I want Nico to get the choice. Nico, do you want to go first or do you want Gab to go first?
I can do baller first. Easy
Sige,
for me. I think Coach Sean Chambers. Grabe yung pag-hire sa kanya ng FEU kasi they're not only getting a coach, they're also getting a recruiter, they're also getting a guy who's great at motivating his players. Sobrang naging cherry on top yung pagiging gilas niya, assistant coach. So in a way, pwede niya ma-sell yun sa players niya na,
That's
like if you perform well, I can recommend. I'm sure na maalala, even if he doesn't say it to the players, naisip ng players na, si Coach Sean nasa FEU, he's also with Gilas. O kapag nagpakitang Gilas tayo, baka ma-recommend tayo. At least may maging part ng practice pool ng Gilas, diba? So ang daming niyang dala to FEU na FEU, I'm sure, didn't even realize na grabe pala to mag-recruit. The way he goes beyond when it comes to recruiting players. Grabe talaga. Like, just, I think I heard it from a interview somewhere. I think with Navs Ben or somewhere. Basta, he's a great recruiter as well. So, grabe yung
That
FEU.
that's actually a good choice, Nico, kasi
Mm.
FEU is actually one of my honorable mentions for baller of the
Okay.
off-season. Yeah,
Baller.
because just because of where they started in the off-season, I'm not sure if you guys remember. When they started, I was there in their first game in Pinoy Liga. Kalat sila. I think they were giving the ball a lot to Joric Bautista. They were trying him out as as their number one guy.
Ginagawa
John
siya.
Ray was struggling early on in the preseason. Diba, Sam, we talked about this early in the off-season. John Ray Pasol could not get his shot to go. He was missing shots.
Alat niya, grabe.
At sobrang alat niya. And then eventually, as the off-season wore on, as they got more reps, you see the emergence of a VJ Pre, who, by the way, you watched that interview with Nico on his channel. Very good interview. And eventually, they found that their number one guy is going to be John Ray Pasol. He's going to be their number one offensive guy. He's going to have the ball in his hands. And they're going to bring Joric off the ball. And that has resulted in more wins. I don't know if the fans of the UAP have noticed, but they went on a hot streak towards the end of the Phil Oil preseason cup. Diba? I think they ended up placing third, if I'm not mistaken. They did, diba? They beat Letran, if I'm not mistaken. They beat Letran for the bronze medal for that third place game, and on a buzzer beater by Joric Bautista, who
else?
came off
talaga.
yung
Who
clutch
else?
talaga came off Sean Chambers play. And that's the other thing why I like what you said, Nico. Whole different ball game yung pinapakita ni Sean Chambers. Diba? From the past 2 or 3 seasons of the Rosella offense, from the Olsen Rosella offense down to the Denok Miranda offense, it's always been isolation from top of the key, small ball, yung pick and roll. And it hasn't really materialized into a Final Four appearance. Diba? They've missed the Final Four the past 3 seasons, I think. So yun, I think they're going in the right direction. Sabi nga ni Nico, there are a ton of recruits, Phil-Am recruits. So yun pa lang, influence yung kaagad ni Sean Chambers yun. And I love it. I picked FEU in our episode with Nabs, diba? Yung sabi ko na Final Four pick, it used to be UST for me or was it Adamson? But sabi ko, once I started paying attention to FEU, parang FEU na yung pick ko for the Final Four. You were saying something, Nico.
Yeah, actually, mention din kasi ni VJ, yung sa interview ko with him na meron silang triangle concepts, pero ginagawa ni Coach ni Coach Sean, na minimix niya ng other principles para hindi maging yung adjustment nila, hindi sila mabigla. Para in a way, para maganda yung transition nila to the season at tsaka niya lang in-easily transition yung full triangle concept. If yun nga talaga yung gusto nila gawin. So, it also helps na ang ganda pakinggan na they beat some MPBL teams. Diba? For a UAP school to beat a MPBL team na maraming mga mama. Diba? That's something that's a great what do you call it? A great milestone to check after the off-season na okay, we beat some MPBL teams, went undefeated against those teams, or had a tie against one. And we're ending the summer on a high note. With they still have a few more tune-up games heading into before nga yung actual UAP season. So I'm high on FEU based on how they ended this, how they're ending it rather.
I want to watch those games, by the way. If
Diba? Close story.
Sayang. Sammy.
I was just gonna add, speaking of the triangle and the connection to Gila, the connection to Coach Tim Cone, diba? A lot of these players for the UAAP, syempre ang dream din nila is to make it to the PBA. And you mentioned it, if they're familiar with the triangle, ano naman si Coach Tim? The triangle master. So, may connection din doon eh. Like, if you want to make it to Ginebra, I have the connection to Coach Tim. This is Coach Tim's offense. So, really yung intangibles, I would say, of Coach Sean, what he's brought to this FEU team in a few months. Gab, you mentioned when FEU started out. Actually, he came here pero hindi agad siya nag-coach, 'di ba? He was letting coach si
Took a
Dennis
while.
Miranda
Yeah.
coach the team, but grabe yung pag-akyat nila or pag-spike ng improvement ng team and everything he's contributed to FEU. Hopefully FEU is back. We were used to seeing FEU be competitive, make it to the Final Four. The past few seasons, unfortunately, they've missed it. But I think if you're an FEU fan, you're excited. Just like si Nico and Gab here, you should be high.
We haven't even seen their full lineup. Cholo Ananuevo has not played the entire offseason.
That's
So
true. That's true.
there's still a Cholo Ananuevo coming in season 87. So lots to watch out for FEU. Sana.
Okay, moving on. Gab, sino naman ang baller of the off-season mo?
Baller of the offseason, of course, we have to give it to the UP Fighting Maroons in general.
Okay, yeah.
I think they have gone under the radar just because not because we think we underestimate them or we think lowly of them, but just because we know that they're gonna be a contender. That's why we don't talk about them as much or we don't.
Totoo yun. Totoo yun.
Diba?
Not
Parang
a lot of buzz
alam na natin eh.
as compared
not
to
a lot
si
of buzz.
Alasal.
Yeah, but yeah, the results for themselves have shown that they're a baller of the offseason. I don't think they've lost at all the offseason. Like in Pinoy Liga, Phil Oil, even to their tournament in Europe, they have not lost a single game. And plus they beat LaSalle twice. In the second one was more impressive for me. They were down big at halftime and they just locked up DLSU. DLSU could not score in the third quarter and just eventually won the Phil Oil title. And I think we also forget that they pulled off a lot of recruits. I think we forget that Ray Remogat came in this offseason to UP.
That started the off-season. That crazy off-season. Yung re-remote
diba?
Na yun, di ba?
Plus,
realize ko ano.
diba?
Parang tagal
Plus,
na eh. No?
Even before that, Sammy, right after the finals, we even got news na we thought that JD was graduating. Oh no, he's staying for one more season 87. So it's a total win for UP. And the other recruits, Jacob Baila, who's their center, si QMB. Diba? So this team is stacked. We said it ourselves, 1 through 16. You can put any of those 16 guys in a starting 5 in any other school, UAAP or NCAA wise, diba? That's how stacked they are, and they've shown it in this offseason. I think the emergence of JD Kagulangan as the clear number 1 option, the number 1 playmaker and number 1 guy on this team is a big thing. We've said it that I think that was their problem in the finals against LaSalle. They didn't know who to go to in the last few seconds, the last few minutes of the game. Heck, JD was not in the game, but now, from the way JD is playing, I don't think Jan will be getting 20 plus minutes per game. I expect JD to get the majority of the minutes, and plus, just the depth there. You know that kung sino man yung hugutin dyan ni Coach Gold sa bench na gagawa eh. Kaya it's UP for me, man. There's no way. They're the clear number 1. It's championship or bust for them. Season 87. Nico or Sammy?
Go,
well,
yeah, I've actually heard reports na QMB has been dominating in practices, not only within their team, but also in tune-ups. I mean, that's what you expect from a one and done. Like, that's what I want. That's what I hope to expect, diba? Na there's hype to this guy's name. I have seen some clips on YouTube kasi yun lang naman yung pwede nating pagbasehan. And kung matranslate nga niya yun sa this local level, I feel like that's a clear-cut number 1 overall pick in the PBA by a mile. If yun nga, yung as what I've heard from reports, matranslate to the UAP, I don't think anyone's gonna clear him sa number 1 sa 2025 draft.
Oh, that's a good pick. What is it? He's 6'10", diba?
6'10",
Laki niya. Wait lang. Quinton Melora Brown height.
So talk about someone you hope will get an exception.
6'10".
Oh, diba, you hope we'll get an exception for Gilas, although highly unlikely since he's pretty old na. Pero Chris Newsom got an exception, so I do.
Maybe an exception. Kung exception, yeah. Pero hindi yan ina-naturalize kasi madami na tayong nakapark. We have Benny Boatwright pa who just unfortunately got injured.
Na ACL, no? ACL ba?
No, Achilles ata. Achilles, si Benny Boatwright. Pero Quinton Millar-Brown, another great star appeal for the PBA who's looking for, they're looking for you guys to market. Ito, 6'10", pogi, magaling. O di, check all the boxes.
Start the tank wars.
Hashtag no? Ano ba yung mga pwedeng hashtag for QMB? Kayo guys, mag-comment kayo na mga gusto nyong mga, di ba may...
Maganda yan.
Yung kay Cooper Flag, ano ba yung capture the flag, di ba? Yung hashtag capture the flag. Yun yung kay QMB medyo mahirap Pero makakaisip rin tayo.
Yung pag-iisipan natin yan.
Comment down
below. Now you've gone the thought train.
QMB.
Going.
Yeah, definitely, Gab. Just to close yung UP pick. They've had a great off-season. I agree with you. I think a lot of us, or if not most of us, picked UP as our eventual champion for season 87, yung dun sa collab pod natin with Navs and Nico. So, it's theirs to lose. It's really going to be I think it's going to be a competitive UP team ngayon that wants to get the revenge against LaSalle because obviously LaSalle is that other pick. So, moving on to my baller of the week. Sanay na ako sa baller of the week. Baller of the off-season, has to be the other team. LaSalle, the other top contender. I'm picking LaSalle because obviously anytime you get top recruits like Konov, Amos, Jacob Cortez, Kian Baclaan, all of these guys they got this off-season. You have to be a winner of the off-season. Obviously,
Good point.
the three guys there are for season 88 pero nakuha nila this season. It was so big for them to beat
Pablo too. You forgot about Pablo.
Oo nga pala. Ang tagal na no? Kalimutan ko na. Good luck kay Pablo. They beat PBA teams. That's something you talk about beating MPBL teams, Nico, diba? But LaSalle, nabaliw lahat ng mga tao nung napanood natin na almost beating Rain or Shine also, but beat other teams sa PBA. So that says something about how good this team is. Recently sa Wolves, they didn't win Phil Oil, as you mentioned, Gab, it was UP, pero sa Wolves, they also dominated that game. So, also getting potentially one of the top FSAs, by the way, in Henry Agonane. So, and I think KQ deciding to stay when we were expecting this guy's really ready to go pro, and KQ deciding to stay is a big win for LaSalle. Remember, after they won the championship, nag-start na yung KQ watch natin, Gab, hashtag KQ watch. So big win for LaSalle to keep KQ for season 87. So I think for me they have to be a big baller of the season, defending champs. Lots of recruits in line. Yeah, LaSalle is baller of the preseason for me. Anything you wanna add? Nico siguro. Nico muna.
Nico, go first.
Yeah, yung natalo nila yung mga PBA teams, televised yun Iba kasi yung tinalo mo na tune-up. Kasi closed door, you can say whatever you want, diba? Pag televised kasi, people can make their own conclusions. May it be pros or cons. It's still a statement game. Knowing na, and the PBA teams also have pride. Ayaw nila makita na matatalo kami live.
Televised matatalo sila
Okay lang matalo at close door.
In front of a jam-packed gymnasium.
Full crowd pa. So, diba? So, it's more of a testament to LaSalle's talent na malalakas talaga sila.
Ako, I'm torn about this. I didn't have LaSalle as a candidate or an honorable mention as baller of the off-season. Maybe because a lot of their moves were to solidify their season 88 chances. Amos, Pablo, Baclaan, Cortez.
Fair.
For season 87, I think they're a kind of a bolero because they lost Paulie.
Paulie, no?
They lost Paulie, which I think is such a big loss.
Crucial.
I think,
Mhm.
di ba, we were putting Lasal in the same tier as UP. Then when Poly left, sabi natin, they're now a tier below. If kung
Yep.
S tier ang UP,
I agree.
A tier ang Lasal. And they've lost to UP twice. That's another thing. They haven't shown that they can beat this UP team since the finals of last season. So that's something for me. And they really have not found the solution yet at point guard that we have been talking about. They've tried. They've tried Lian Ramiro. They've tried JC Makalalag. They've tried Matthew Rubico. They've tried a ton of options, but they still default at times a bit too much to giving the ball to KQ most of the time. Last season, iba eh, di ba? Sa amin, Nico. Pang si KQ pagod or with KQ who's not having it, you give the ball to Evanele because he can create his own shot. He's a veteran already. For this season, I thought that was going to be Paulie, the guy who will take some extra load off of KQ. But now I don't see who it is. Eh. I don't see when it comes to close games against UP in the clutch, who's going to take the load off KQ. I don't see it yet. I'm not sure Mike Phillips has that in him. He has been improving offensively, but as a go-to guy, I don't think so.
He's
not
been a
yet there.
specialist. Yun yung perfect term to
Oh.
describe Mike. Specialist. Specialist, you can expect them to give you 15 in 10, like what Mike has been giving. Pero yun nga, like when the defense is set, when everything is like built to stop you, yun yung medyo ano na kay Mike, what he needs to fix. In this wala nang time to fix this coming season. There's 3 weeks remaining. At least post-career niya, he knows what he needs to improve, which is having at least a mid-range jumper to just get
Tama,
out of the
actually.
paint.
Tama. That's true.
So yun, medyo 50-50 ako sa Lasal. I didn't have them as a full baller of the off-season. I also didn't have them as a full-on bolero because how can you, as Sammy said, ang dami nilang nakuha for season 88. You know, they have a boatload of talent for season 88 already. And yun, also a lot of guys at the end of their bench left. I think that's something that most people forget. Or not even at the end of their bench, even in their team B. Guys who were supposedly about to go up to the team A, they left. So More Alaus, si Aaron Buensalida, Jake Gaspay. I'm blanking on the others. But
Madami.
there are others.
Madami.
So ang dami rin yung nawala sa Lasal, no? So yun, medyo 50-50 ako when it comes to Lasal. Sami.
Yeah, actually, go.
Go, Nico.
Sige.
Go, Nico.
Yung sa akin kasi more of a fear lang for season 88. Ngayon ko na na-realize na Kian and Jacob are kind of similar with the way they play. I'm sensing like Portland, like Dame and CJ, but like in the UAAP. So like how far can that, like this kind of talent can make you a number 1 seed in the end of the regular season. May potential na ganun. But in the playoffs, kaya ba yan? Like madadala ba yan? So it's a concern. Not saying na it's a problem, but it's something na how they can mesh together. Kasi medyo similar yung playing style nila eh.
Yes, that's a very good point. Actually, I got to see them in Pinoy Liga play together.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, at some points na they can play together. Pero yung tama ka, Nico, they're both ball dominant. They need the ball. They need the ball in there. And not to mention, KQ is there also, who also needs the ball. So
by 88?
By 8, Nico, he kind of recruited si Bakla and si
guys.
Sabi niya,
so you think having KQ sa 88 would be more of a problem as a whole with the whole team meshing, especially with the guys they recruited? Or you prefer na wala ng KQ and they could still win the championship?
No, I think I prefer KQ. I prefer KQ.
You still prefer KQ? Okay.
I think I still prefer KQ there. He's still the best player in the UAAP. Okay. What you're pointing out, and I think what I'm pointing out also, is that they have some chemistry issues to work with when all three of them are working together, are playing together on the court. I think yun. But talent-wise, I don't think you can dispute that the need for a KQ, diba?
So
just on a whole other level.
It's a backcourt thing that they need to fix, address.
Yeah.
Kaya naman.
Yeah. Yung bigs din eh, Konov, Amos, Pablo.
Pero feel ko mas madali mas madali i-work around
ayusin no?
Yung mga mas
Kasi
madali ayusin.
mas ball dominant talaga yung
Mm.
dalawang yun. But, I mean, sa Pinoy Liga, we've seen the good
Yeah, they're
parts
overwhelming.
of it, diba?
Overwhelm sa natin.
They used talaga their talent to beat you. So, still exciting. But I do agree, Gab, no? Definitely for this season, for season 87, maybe Lasal actually went down a bit. But just looking at the off-season, what they did in the off-season, just stealing these talents from competitive teams, I would say. Jacob Cortez just won a championship. Mason Amos was the next big Ateneo star. Kian Baclaan was the star point guard for NU. You have to give it to Lasal. But moving on, siguro let's talk about quickly lang, honorable mentions, quick run through any teams that you guys wanna mention. Ako masingit ko lang because I picked Lasal. I have to mention Benilde. Benilde because
Wow!
Benilde.
hindi sila UAAP pero kinuha nila lahat ng latak ng Lasal. So they
By
have to be a big
extension, pwede
baller,
na rin.
diba? By extension. Lasal light. Anyway, go ahead. Any honorable mentions for you guys? Let's start with Nico.
Honorable mention for me is I think Welo Lingo. So super out of nowhere. Pero si Lingo kasi I've always believe he's a pure shooter.
God loves that guy.
Grabe talaga si Welo Lingo. I'm a big fan. He shoots like Peja. Yung form niya na basta
Beautiful
parang,
shot ni Nico.
beautiful
Sobrang
shot, beautiful
ganda.
form. And I think kaya niya maging secondary to more aggressiveness lang kasi he has to realize na aasa talaga yung team sa kanya. Kasi it's gonna be precious. It's gonna be him din si Abate. I don't know. I think may pa naman may Jack Dumont, JDC.
Dumont. Yeah.
Pero I feel like si Welo yung mag-ano talaga sa kanila. Like, just that the shooting, just more shots, more attempts for Welo. And nakita naman sa Phil Oil, di ba? Na he is more aggressive this coming season knowing na wala na si Noy Remogat. So that's an honorable mention. I want to see him succeed very much.
Ako,
Good pick.
ang honorable mention ko is Nick Cabanero of UST.
Oh yeah.
Because after his first
That's a good
game,
pick.
after their first win in Phil Oil, he was interviewed after with Coach Pido, and he had never looked so happy before.
Ang saya niya, no? Ang saya.
Diba?
Jackpot no?
Diba? The burden is all of the burden to win, to produce on offense is now off his shoulders. It's like the past two seasons actually. The burden was all on him to carry this USC team. Like there was no one else available except for last year, maybe si Christian Manaytay. But literally the burden of trying to win a game or two in the UAAP zone fell on Nick Cabanero. And we saw him. I think you guys remember their loss to Adamson in season 85. Nung umiyak siya, he fell on the ground, he cried because he wanted to win so much. Diba? Nung last game of the season, he wanted to win so much. This guy just wants to win. He wants to be competitive. This is now his fourth UAAP season. I think he started in 84. Tama, diba? So, the fact that he has help now and his team, UST, legit has a chance to make it to the Final Four and win I'm very happy for the guy. And he looked happy too. Na, yung sabi nga sa interview na yun sobrang okay na may iba ng tao na pwedeng gumawa ng play aside from me. And that sums it up perfectly for UST. And I'm wearing yellow right now. That sums it up perfectly for the UST Growling Tigers. It's not just the Nick Cabanero show anymore. There are other people that he can pass the ball to. There are other people who can create plays. He can stand in the corner if he wants to at times because he has Portsky there. He has Isaac Danting, Leland Estacio, Kyle Parananga, ang dami niyang playmakers alongside him. So I'm very happy
now. And
he has an FSA.
He has an FSA. Yes. He has an FSA. I think they're going with Tungkara. I think they might lean on Tungkara more than pero it's a close call like close battle lang Osang versus Tungkara. Pero feel ko it's gonna be Tungkara.
Actually, kami rin, Nico. Yung sabi rin namin, to sa luck maybe na namin, it's Tungkara. I think he's a lot more polished. I think he's older also than Osang, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, ako Tungkara and Nick Cabanero, I hope you get more than 2 wins, man. I'm really I'm really pulling for
I
UST.
feel like it's
Man,
5,
legit.
6 wins. Yeah.
You love the competitiveness of Nick Cabanero, diba? You love na gusto niyang manalo. And you feel for those kind of guys, diba? Na gusto talaga manalo. You see them crying on the ground when they've lost. They wanted to really to win so bad. So, ako yung Nick Cabanero. Sammy.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I love that pick. Excited for the UST fans. I actually had UST as an honorable mention also.
Oh,
Just because it's really going to be a different team this season. I'm not sure about the Final Four yet, but definitely there is a chance for them to make it. Pero it's not like the past few seasons, and hopefully things work for UST kasi we've always talked about UST as like the super crazy fan base na kapag competitive sila, baliw talaga yung mga Uste fans, and we want to see that. We want to see that for this season. Oy, before we
actually,
move on
I just want to add,
Go,
dun sa
Nico.
sinabi ni Gab kay Nick, kita mo yung percentages niya sa field oil, it increased by 4 or 5% sa field goals, threes, lahat. Nakita, it's just, it speaks for itself. With having better
More-
teammates, you don't have to
More
force
open
shit.
shots.
More
Diba?
open shots, di ba? He's gonna play within the flow. Hindi ko pipilitin, tatlo na sa loob. Sige, I'll take my chances. Di ba? Ganun
Oo.
dati. Ngayon, parang sige, ano
Buwis
ba?
buhay tira ni
That's why,
Nico.
yun yung gusto ko sabihin na the numbers support what Gab said regarding
That's
Nick.
a very good point,
Oo.
Nico. Very good point. And it's seen on the court din, yung on-court product.
Kita sa court nga.
Nakita mo at times na he's just waiting for the ball
Chill
and
lang.
then he'll take a shot. Diba?
Chill lang.
Because si Fortsky's there to create shots for him.
Stabilize.
Diba?
Siya nagano
Oo.
talaga eh.
Okay.
Okay.
Before we move on to our Bolero picks, let's talk about our sponsor for today. Gab.
This episode, once again, is brought to you by Hype 24/7 Fitness. Feel the hype. At si Nico, you mentioned earlier na gusto niya nag-workout in Sando. Show off your guns in the gym, bros. Let's go to Hype 24/7 Fitness. Let's go.
Go to ko
Alright.
yan sa Robmag.
Rob
Yun!
Mag. Hype. Let's go. Pero unfortunately, pag-uusapan natin yung mga boleros of the preseason. So, yung mga fans ng players or teams na to, probably not hype. Mag-gym na lang kayo sa Hype 24/7 para matuwa kayo. So, let's get started. Gab, siguro umpisahan mo na. Sinong bolero of the preseason mo? Curious where you're going with this.
Curious, I think you know already where I'm going with this, Sam Santos. Someone has to say it. The Ateneo Blue Eagles are a bolero of the off-season. Just, if you've watched them at all in the off-season, they have looked terrible. Until recently, but we'll discuss that later. But Pinoy Liga didn't win a single game. Phil Oil did not win a single game at all. And I think a lot of Ateneo fans are feeling the pain of a lot of losses. And not just the losses, no. I think from season 86, you could argue that Ateneo has lost a lot. Has lost the most in terms of player quality and in terms of the roster construction, diba? Just they lost 3 starters: Obasa, Balungay, Brown, diba? That alone is very, very painful, diba? Obasa was a great rim protector for them. Balungay was either the number 1 or number 2 option on offense. Jared Brown was a number 1 option on offense for stretches in season 86. So losing those 3, plus this one, losing the apparent replacement for your number 1 option on offense in Mason Amos, I think you really have to give Ateneo the bolero of the offseason. And it does not look good for season 87 so far. You know, they don't have. I think Nico, you had this in one of your videos. They don't have a front line. They didn't play with an FSA for most of the preseason, diba? I think Balogun only played 1 game. And tinambakan pa sila ng Lasal nun.
Oh.
Diba?
And yung
So-
video ko na yun, that was with Mason in mind pa. Siya pa yung thumbnail ko na, di ba?
Sabay
Yung
ito.
Oo nga, tama.
Tapos yung title para video ko, parang what else could go wrong for Ateneo?
Ayun.
Kasalanan mo, Nico eh.
Not worse.
Alam ko na, kasalanan mo na. Binati mo kasi.
Tapos sabi ko, is it time to panic for Ateneo? Yun yung pala, is it time to panic for the Ateneo Blue
Oh,
Eagles? That was like
It
2 months
it
before.
is 2 months before. And then after, yes, it is.
I
It's
should
now
stop
time to
making those
panic.
videos. So, they're gonna have to rely on Kyle Ong. Balo daw will play, sabi ni Chris. He will play. It's gonna be challenging times.
It's gonna be challenging times, and but there are bright spots. I think we've talked
bright
about
spots,
that.
definitely. Oo.
Yung talked about that in length during our Lock Maybe or Na episode. I like how they've played nung Taiwan tournament. I'm sure Nico, you saw that.
Yeah.
They're playing faster. They're playing like mayhem defense, mayhem offense, sort of
Parang mayhem na
Alvin
sila.
Ayo type of style of play, diba? And for me, that's an adjustment for Coach Tab because he's never played like that before. We'll see how it works out, but definitely Ateneo is a bolero of the off-season. It's been a painful few months for Ateneo fans talaga. Losing Mason, watching the team just lose over and over again. And we'll see. But there are bright spots. We've said it, but I don't think anyone can defend Ateneo for being a bolero of the off-season.
Remember Sam Gab when Sean said before na entering season 85, 2 months before nag-change ng offense ang Ateneo. I feel like they changed again after
they
makita
did.
ni Coach Tab. This is not the right personnel for my let's switch something up, let's try something. Feel ko nangyari yun. I wanna I wanna get to interview one of them after the season and try to affirm or confirm that nagpalit ba kayo ng offense 2 months or 1 month before. I'm so curious if nagpalit nga sila. Feel ko
That's true.
meron.
Nico, from watching them in Taiwan, I think they did. They did. This is not the offense that they were running in Phil Oil. It's I think the Mason Amos thing was kind of the parang the linchpin or parang that
sirain na natin itong offense natin.
parang the tipping point na eh. Parang okay, wala na si Mason, we can't rely on anyone for consistent offense anymore. We're gonna change this whole thing. We're gonna play faster. We're gonna play more pressure basketball, more mayhem. So I think that's what you're gonna expect if you're an Ateneo fan.
We have scrappers, we have hustlers. Yun yung mga players natin ngayon. So I think bagay nga yung mayhem type of style of play.
Yep, tama.
Yeah, and
Sammy.
I think Coach Tab likes the challenge. Anyway, just 2 things I wanna add dun sa Ateneo, no? Gab, you mentioned like the 3 starters, the players that they lost. Gio Chu was also a huge loss. Literally a huge
forgot about
loss
Gio.
for Ateneo this offseason. Could have been, a starting big for Ateneo in season 87. So, mas lalong naging masakit yun, diba? Because of everything that happened. Talk about silver lining. Imagine if they didn't get Jared Bahay or Chris Kun decided to go pro. Diba? Those were the 2 things eh. Jared Bahay wasn't supposed to join Ateneo. Chris Kun was also supposed to go leave Ateneo. So, despite everything that's happened, may mga lucky breaks din naman yung Ateneo. Moving on. Nico, sino naman ang bolero of the off-season mo?
SJ Moore, it's been in limbo all throughout.
Wow.
Hindi niya alam. Hindi niya alam. Hindi natin alam kung mag-USD ba, magbe-Benil ba, back to USD, gulo. Sayang first development. I wish he stayed in the NCAA na where he'll be able to go let loose. Kasi nasa doghouse siya eh. Simula pa lang nung rookie year niya, doghouse na siya eh. Wala man lang mga average of 5 to 10 minutes per game. He only plays kapag tambak na sila or gusto lang nila mag-try ng something new last year. Pero wala siyang consistent minutes. So it sucks. Sayang. He's an exciting player to watch pa naman.
Agree, no? And we were high on SJ Moore in the off-season last year.
Ko pa ata piling ko.
I think si Maui din picked SJ Moore.
One of his picks.
So lahat tayo yung naloko. I think wala eh. I think for him now, should get out of UST. Kasi ang dami ng players who play the same position as him. Diba? Si Ashton Andrews nandun. Same body type, same style of play, athletic wing. Leland Estacio plays as a wing but as a more mature player. I don't think talaga may minutes siya dun eh. And plus, you said it, Nico. He's been in the doghouse of Coach Pido ever since. And with Pido still the coach season 87, from the way he was reacting when SJ Moore was playing, and I was there seeing it live, I really don't. Talagang he shakes his head, parang hindi talaga siya impressed eh. So, for me, wala eh. I think he's gonna be forever in the doghouse of Coach Pido Harencio if he stays in UST. So, I would complete the move if I were SJ Moore. Just go to the NCAA. I think it'll suit you better. I think Benil, diba, yung rumored destination niya? So,
yeah, it's most likely, based on the rumors, it looks like it's Benilde. And I think Coach Charles is, mga player whisperer yan eh. And mahirap kasi maglaro for a team na you're constantly looking over your shoulder. You mess up, sub na ba ako? Hirap maglaro na ganun.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Very true.
Yeah, yun lang naman. Sige, Sam.
Yeah. I think sa last, by the way, just on SJ Moore, sa last photo na nakita natin, I think Maui shared it, parang team photo nila. Wala siya sa team
But
photo.
he's still wearing a UST jersey.
Pero we don't know kung ano na yung final decision. So, comment down below kung meron tayong mga UST listeners dyan who have insider info on SJ Moore. Let us know. But we're
UST jersey pa
rooting
siya
for
eh.
this
So,
guy.
tingnan natin.
Baka.
We'll see.
Diba usually they change their profile pics first?
They
usually ganun, diba?
usually do.
Or their bio, they remove the school or the animal that they're associated.
Tama yan.
Akala ko nga tinanggal na niya eh.
Wala.
I heard
Nakalagay lang
somewhere,
athlete.
Pero, okay. Sige. Sige, moving on. My bolero of the pre-season, of season. Meron akong player, meron din akong team eh. I think I'll go with the team and maybe you'll disagree with me on this, Gab. Actually, 50-50 din ako sa kanila. But I'm going with Adamson as another bolero
How
of the
dare you? How
off-season.
dare you?
And this is why. It was really good to see Adamson win the UAAP Juniors Championship. Yung championship. I think I forget yung stat but like matagal na silang hindi nag-champion sa UAAP Juniors. It looked very promising yung mga seniors nila. They had sino nagko-coach nung juniors team but si assistant siya eh. Mike Fermin. Coach Mike Fermin. Yeah, tama. Assistant siya for the seniors. So, we always talk about building the culture eh. Tsaka yung grassroots program. Like, building from high school to college is always an important thing. And perfect example, Nico speak kanina, FEU. Nico and Gab speak kanina, FEU. That's how they sort of brought back this team, diba? Other than si Coach Sean Chambers, they're bringing a lot of like young stars or young guys from their high school team. And that's sort of what it looked like for Adamson after they won that juniors championship. And then they lost out on all four seniors. Yung all four seniors, hindi nila nakuha.
Ni isa nga silang nakuha.
Diba? Ni isa. Obviously, the top two guys of the team, Tebol Garcia and si Vince Reyes, ended up in NU. So, competitor pa ng Adamson. So, for me, that's a big loss.
Kalaban pa nila ng finals.
Oo nga pala.
Si Coach Jeff pa yung nag-recruit sa mga kalaban niya.
Diba? Kalaban nila sa high school finals. Insider info talaga. Anyway, I think that's a big loss for Adamson, especially as they transition from the Jerome Lastimosa period. Kasi, Gab, we talked about it. You love Tebol Garcia. Sakto na eh. Jerome Lastimosa out, Tebol Garcia in. Yun na yun eh. I mean, kilala mo na yung coaches and everything. So, it was so mind-boggling na hindi nila nakuha yung apat na yon. And si Coach Nash mismo nagsabi, di ba? Makahanap nga ng for keeps. Yun yung tweet niya, if you remember. Obviously, they also lost veterans from the team. Si Didat Hanapi decided to go pro. And one of the I think Adamson High School stars then, si Joem Sambandal. had to cut his career short because of an injury. And that's 2 straight years wherein one of their star guards in college sort of ended poorly yung career nila with Adamson because of bad injury. So I have to pick Adamson as one of my boleros, pero just like Ateneo, meron naman ding mga silver lining. They were nakuha nila si Kobe de Misana. Competente also ended up joining Adamson, originally UST. So promising guys coming in, and they did get a couple of like solid or good Phil-Am recruits. But the other point that I was gonna say, probably the most hype, siguro in terms of hype lang, hype 24/7 fitness, the Ronzone twins, obviously, ma-plug lang. Obviously, from the preseason, not as expected. Yung hype grabe sa kanila, but so far in terms of performance, hindi, di ba? That's why I also picked them as a bolero, Adamson as a bolero, but maybe yung intangibles ng pag-recruit ng Ronzone and ng tulong ng tatay nila can help Adamson recruit. So, yun yung silver lining. Anyway.
Matthew Montebon and ano pa rin ako, Eli Ramos. That's my guards of the future.
Oo, syempre. For sure na yan. Lock
Syempre,
na yan.
But if you phrase it that way, Sam, parang sige nga, okay, yung na-convince ako na, yeah, medyo bolero nga ang Adamson.
Medyo.
I still think they're a contender for the Final Four.
I do.
That's how highly I think of them. Talaga, Nico?
Dahil kay Sed, I love Sed Manzano. But Sed Manzano's not Justin Arana. But may pagka Justin Arana. Are you guys familiar with Justin Arana? So he's like a 6'6" JMF. Sobrang I feel like Sed's, if he wants a ceiling for himself, he could target a Justin Arana. Kasi sobrang galing ni Arana. And I'm a believer of Manzano na.
Smaller, no? Ano ba height ni Manzano?
Para bang 6'4", 6'5" rin si Sed, di ba?
Oo,
6'5" si Sed. Wow, 6'5".
And he's malapad, but he's also thinning already. Like, yung talaga, like, nagiging chiseled, leaner. That's the right term. I don't think they're fine. That's me. Pero if Gab's correct, I don't mind being wrong. That's gonna be a great story for the UAP.
Nico, you're not alone. Si Maui and si Sam, hindi talaga mga believers yan ng Adamson. Ako lang talaga yung lone believer. Kahit last season, sinasabi ko sa nila, magka-challenge yung Adamson for a Final Four. Silang dalawa, si Maui, si Sam, di nakikinig sa akin.
May favorite teams kami, Nico. Ako, FEU, si Maui, UST, si Gab, Adamson.
Last year, favorite team.
Last year and this year. Last year and this year.
Kala ko last year. Okay.
But
yeah.
For me kasi Adamson still has a system to go back to. Plus they play just really solid defense, and they're just a bunch of good players plus one Cedric Manzano. That's it. I don't think they're gonna beat the likes of LaSalle or UP. No way. But to challenge for a fourth spot, I see them there. Everyone keeps on underestimating it because talagang wala silang star player na overwhelming star player. Like Cedric Manzano averages 10 points a game despite being an overwhelmingly dominant big man inside in terms of rebounding. He doesn't score a ton of points din naman. So I get it why people are not as high on Adamson as I am. I just like the way they play. I like the defense that they play especially. So for me, okay naman. But the way Sam phrased it, I have to agree. Losing out on those 4 seniors from their high school division is a bummer talaga. Talaga no one, ni isa, wala man lang nakuha ang Adamson. How? This our honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. I'll bring up one guy, the player that I was thinking about, Luis Pablo.
He was my pick too.
He
for honorable mention sa Bolero?
Sa Bolero. So,
okay.
Actually 50-50 din ako. So, he moved to LaSalle, hopefully to become the next KQ, and then eventually LaSalle gets Konov and Mason Amos. So, medyo may log jam dun sa position na yon. Now that seeing the LaSalle lineup now, parang dapat ata nagstay na lang sa UP si Luis Pablo. Baka siya na yung star next year, di ba? With that said,
what the hell?
I'm just saying, like, compared to LaSalle, he has a better chance sa UP. With that said, though, if he gets to train with KQ, and we've seen him, Gab, diba? He looks slimmer, he moves faster. baka yun yung silver lining dito is really being able to work out with KQ. So, yeah. But anyway, Gab, bakit si Luis Pablo?
Yeah, it's just been a series of unfortunate events for Luis Pablo. Diba? Going to UP for college. Right at the end of season 85, he went to UP for college. Then, right after that, they recruit LeBron Lopez, Francis Lopez. Then he gets pushed to be a center, which he is not. He was played primarily as the third string or backup center for UP. He is not a center. And leaves UP, goes to LaSalle, has to take a 1-year residency. You thought was gonna be good for him. Maybe he'll succeed KQ. And then as this off-season wore on, they get Alex Konov, same position as him. Mason Amos, same position as him. It's wala eh. People don't seem to be investing in Luis Pablo stocks right now. So it does not look good for him.
Question, Nico. Seven Gagate or Luis Pablo? Who's in a better
Luis
spot
Pablo.
right now?
Luis Pablo.
Right now, who's in a better spot right now?
Luis Pablo. Malayo. Sevens had the injury. So that really... and nakita ko yung improvement ni Pablo. Sa Pinoy Liga ko siya nakita. And malayo si Pablo.
And
I feel like...
Sam, 7 is the 5th string center.
Yep.
If he ever gets to the lineup.
Yeah.
There's QMB, there's Udodo, there's Stevens, there's Alter. And then there's Kagate. He's the
Seven
5th.
Gagate.
He's
He
the
might
5th
not
center.
make the team. He might not
Oh.
make the team in season 87.
Yeah, if ever he makes it, he's gonna be the 5th center. Even if he makes it, he's not gonna play. No way, diba? So, yung tama si Nico. And also for season 88, if he plays, he's gonna be the 4th string center once QMB is gone.
Well,
So-
we're rooting for these guys. So hopefully, they improve. Nico, may honorable mention ka ba?
Yeah, honorable mention sa Bolero, si Mark Belmonte. Nasasayangan ako sa kanya. I feel like a team could have used him. Sa UP kasi buried siya and that just because of the amount of talent they have. Ikaw nag-Ateneo kaya si Mark Belmonte. No? Feel ko, gusto ni Coach Tab yun.
Oo, gusto
I'm a
niya
fan
yung
of
mga
Mark
ganung
Belmonte.
mahaba.
Any team will want Mark Belmonte.
That's true.
Just say, my God, he would score a bunch on any team. It's just that yung tama si Nico, he's buried behind Francis Lopez and Aldous Turculas. And despite him getting a ton of minutes in the offseason, he's just not gonna get that same playing time, those same touches in the season 87. There's no way.
I feel like
It's-
starters
it's,
for some teams.
Yeah,
Ano yan?
yeah. Ako, Nico, no
no?
doubt. No doubt he's a starter in any other team. No doubt. Just that may Lopez and Turculas and
Yeah,
we've
mahirap.
seen it in big games talaga. It really is just a Lopez and Turculas show at power forward. There's no hindi nila may singit si Belmonte talaga. Not even sa wing, hindi nila kaya because of the amount of players that they have to play. So, yeah.
Okay.
It's fun.
That's it for this episode. I know Nico has to go, so sorry about that.
Oh,
Nico,
sa next
medyo
future
extend
episode
tayo.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining. We're glad to have you here. Any last words, Nico, before we go?
I think you guys could check out my content sa TikTok and Instagram at Nico Rocha, yung O sa Nico tatlo, ni NICOOO Rocha. Same username for all para madali hanapin. Well, sa
Yeah.
YouTube it's Nico Rocha or Six Man Podcast. Nandun yung mga tawag doon, yung mga interviews ko, mostly centered talaga sa UAAP. And kung nakikinig pa kayo sa radyo, PBA Radio 9:18 AM starting on August 22 yung game na at least naka-cover ko. So yeah, yun lang naman to just and of course
9:18
thank you
a.m.
Boleros.
is a very specific time, man.
9:18
Hindi,
AM.
station.
No, that's the station name.
The station! Okay, akala ko the time.
No, that's the station.
Oh,
The station yun.
Halata hindi
Station
na
yun.
nagre-radio
9:18
sila.
AM
Hindi na
radio. Yan. Pero yung mga
Alright.
games sa PBA is 5 o'clock and 7:30. So usually 7:30. Oh. So, ayun.
Alright.
Yun lang naman.
Yeah. Once again, thanks Nico. Tapos we'll put all his socials sa description na lang para you guys can follow. We'll see you again
Thanks
next
guys.
time.
Saya. Bilis ng
Bye-bye.
one.
Bye.
Bilis ng